Here we go. So it begins. Finally, it has truly begun. This week, XRP $2.08, Bitcoin 87K. The final leg that XRVOT has been waiting for is probably about to take place. Let XRVOT's prophecy fulfill. I hope it already happens, and I think it's going to happen this week because they're about to rip the bandage off. You guys ready? Let it just begin. New! Robert Kiyosaki says the biggest crash in history has just begun. Right? So this is Rich Dad Poor Dad, I believe. I'm not too sure on the matter, but it's about to become Black Friday sale times like 10. If this is the truth. Okay? Then Kim.com on a similar page as Robert Kiyosaki, plus with me, right? The big crash is coming soon, he says. Right? Now they aren't lying because we actually called for this and warned for this, guys. Just because of silver, when you look at precious metals, what are they doing? Skyrocketing, right? From bar charts, just in silver source to a new all-time high. Look at this. Silver has just, in its entirety, it's never done this before. You guys see this? It's breaking out, guys. And this is where you must not become bearish on silver or these precious metals. I'm actually an extreme bull on silver. Okay, extreme bull. Like, I don't even know how much more bullish I could get on this asset. Remember, it's flying upwards. It's breaking out of this of crazy patterns right here. Silver to $700. Why? Because the cup and handle target literally is at $700 at 10x from now. Okay, 11x. So there's no point of being bearish now since silver is breaking upwards. That's bearish for risk on assets, right? Bearish for cryptos and stocks, guys, because this is foreshadowing like a black swan is looming or about to appear in view, which I do believe is about to occur. Okay, and there are too many shorts here. It's probably just gonna go like how gold did, like this, right? Just go up and up and up. Now, silver finally breaking out above 45 year of resistance when adjusted for CPI. Kaboom! It's game over. We're talking about 45 years that this thing held it as resistance. You guys remember when XRP had a line that held it as resistance too? And that was only for 7 years? What happened to XRP? Literally that did that. But we're talking about silver. Silver is about to repeat what every asset, whichever asset is suppressed, it's about to, they're about to let it breathe. Okay, connecting. So it's to silver, which is bad for volatile, or shall we say the crypto industry. Gold hits most overbought level in history on the monthly chart as well. Okay, RSI is going through the roof here. It doesn't mean that it's topping out. It just means the momentum is super high. Plus, it could even create bearish divergences, right? So this is not a time to be bearish on these precious metals. Okay, it's just my 2 cents. China's gold and silver are skyrocketing. Right? In silver inventories in warehouses linked to Shanghai futures exchanges are down. Okay? So the surge in global demand for silver and gold exploding, guys. Okay? Because the world knows what's about to appear in view. You guys realize, right? This is why I've always warned we're gonna probably go lower, guys. Price change in 2025, silver up, platinum up, gold up, copper, lithium. Why? Right? Why is this up? Like why are all these assets exploding, guys? Right? Probably a warning to come of something. So let's talk about, what's happening. What's the current sentiment of the market? Bullish, bearish? For me personally, bearish until the short-term bottom is created, which you guys already know my target. I don't even have to say it anymore. Right, I've said it so many times. From Crypto Rover, this week is going to be very volatile, right? Probably toward the downside. Okay, big week incoming for markets. Monday, tomorrow, we have Powell's speech. QT ends. Okay, that's this QT narrative ending is a bullish narrative for later on, not right now, right? Because they still have to bring upon QE. That's in 2026, not yet. We're talking about today or tomorrow or in the coming weeks. Powell's speech will determine where the markets head to next. Okay, initial jobless claims as well, very important. That's on Thursday. And yeah, we'll see. Right, there have been a lot of talks about they won't be cutting, they will be cutting in the month of December, I think, and all that stuff, guys. But I think towards the later month of December is going to be quite green for the beginning, probably red, and deeply in the red, that is. Okay, which you guys already know my target. A dormant pre-mine address containing 40,000 Ethereum worth $119 million has just been activated after 10.3 years. Look at that. Addresses from literally decades ago, okay, a decade plus ago, are being activated as we speak. Why is that the case? Because of the fact that they're bearish, right? This person didn't just find his keys, okay, and he's like, oh, I just found hundreds of millions of dollars. No, this person is probably an insider, held all the way to now, and selling right before the collapse occurs, and that's late 2026. Worth 119 million. That's 9/11, by the way. That's 13. Breaking: Bitcoin falls minus $4,000 in 2 hours as mass liquidations return, because $200 million worth of long liquidations in the past 60 minutes. Okay, liquidated in the past 60 minutes, guys. Right? Look at that, collapsing on itself. Right? So if we go to Bitcoin's chart here, let's investigate what's going on with Bitcoin. So with Bitcoin, what's going on here is, yeah, I mean, to be fair, I think this thing is going to go down, guys. Okay, same with XRP, probably create new lows. Okay, in the coming, I think it's all going to be this week, right? I don't think they're going to prolong it. I think it's going to be the first week of December, which is this week. Finally, it's about to happen though, right? The faster we get it over with, the better. From Zero Hedge, the Asian crypto dump is back, right? So are the Asians to blame for this, like the Chinese? I think it's Aladdin. It's nobody's fault but Aladdin. But we already knew that this was going to happen, so it's nobody's fault really. Justin, but the media is trying to paint a picture here and trying to attack a certain country. China's central bank reaffirmed its crypto ban and warned it will intensify its crackdown on stablecoins. We actually talked about this narrative. I know a lot of people don't watch these videos, but this is why I tell you guys to share and watch and like, right, and subscribe, so the news, the word can get out. Because we talked about this narrative before it came into fruition, right? Before they attach this narrative into why we're dumping here. You guys realize what's going on, right? Simple as 1, 2, 3. We already knew that they're going to keep attacking cryptocurrencies until the day they don't. Now, Strategy says. Justin, Strategy says they will sell their Bitcoin if its stock falls below MNAV and fresh capital dries up. Wow. So wait a second. Michael Saylor is about to turn ultra bearish on Bitcoin. We told you that this was going to happen, right? Now what? Okay, so if the stock falls below MNAV, like what is that? Like where's it at right now? MicroStrategy holds 650,000 Bitcoin, guys. Imagine all that dumped onto the market. Yeah, I don't want to even think about that scenario. Worth over $60 billion. That's literally Satoshi Nakamoto's holding. Okay, Satoshi holds 1 million Bitcoin. That's about close to Satoshi. Sold on the market, it's basically Nuketown. With MNAV recently dipping below 1x amid Bitcoin's volatility. So yeah, guys, I guess when things get shaky, right, with their stock, they're just gonna flee from the asset, right? MicroStrategy CEO says they will be forced to sell Bitcoin to fund preferred share dividends if the MNAV trades below 1 and raising additional capital becomes difficult. So here it is. MicroStrategy MNAV is currently at 1.13. Okay. Interesting.
Bitcoin. We can sell Bitcoin, and we would sell Bitcoin if we needed to fund our dividend payments below 1x MNAV.
Oh yeah, guys. So yeah, they're gonna start selling soon on the open market. I already knew that this was. I told you guys the narrative will be something to do with Michael Saylor here that will mark the bottom coming soon. Okay, so The bottom is close. I think we're going to create new lows here quite soon. They may start selling, okay, if Bitcoin heads lower, like to 74K possibly for Bitcoin, and then let them sell, right, as much as possible, then jump in and then buy if you can.
And that would be, by definition, if BTC yield is our North Star, right? And that's sort of what our key, our primary KPI is, just like earnings per share might be an important KPI for a traditional company. Then under 1x MNAV, it's more creative to BTC yield to sell our Bitcoin to pay the dividends. And so we would do it in that case. Now, that said, right, as we speak, we have to look at liability management. Are there...
Yeah. So Bitcoin, get ready to puke, right? This thing's probably just going to like go down to 60Ks, possibly. On the other hand, Michael Saylor has gone crazy and starting to say, what if we start adding green dots? Never heard of a green dot. Probably means sell orders. Okay, so the weekly just closed for XRP, guys. And the weekly, now I looked at this chart. This is quite interesting because if you take a look at the weekly chart on the regular candle of XRP, there's supposedly stated dolphin candle. Okay, so so if this candle would have closed up there, guys, it would have been looking beautiful, but it didn't. They dumped it, right, to save it because it's more bearish. That's why I've been saying that XRP, I do believe, will come lower. Okay, we'll see who's correct, if our prophecy will become fulfilled maybe this week. Okay, lower it goes. Let the goblins roar. Japan 2-year yield rises to 1% for the first time since 2008. That's a warning, isn't it? Pressure on Japanese government bonds is surging. Okay, we heard when like these yields start spiking, right? Look at that. For the first time in 2008, since 2008, you know what happened back then, right? What Gregory Mannarino said, if these things start exploding out of nowhere, that's a huge red flag. 30-year bubble bursting. Japan ends carry trade ending, right? If this carry trade starts to unwind, then the markets are about to take a nosedive. Okay, yeah. So there's a bunch of stuff happening, guys. I think it's more bearish, to be fair, like we called for, and don't do anything yet. Wait, let the time play out first, right? And then we will probably bottom. We go in, and then higher it goes. Not yet. I think more down is coming, fast and hard. Not financial wise. What is this? So, see ya. Prepare for this week.